What is going on, guys? This is the SS Ultimate Goku back with another video to do the NFL Week 2 Beast Picks. Joining me, Rainy48.
I am exhausted.
Same here. All right. But nonetheless, we are doing our picks. Last week, you went 8-8. I went 9-7. It was an interesting week for the first week of the playoffs. A lot of obvious storylines coming out of it. But nonetheless, that's the beauty of the beginning of the season.
Yeah, I mean, a lot that's not explainable come in week one. We got a lot that we'll have to figure out.
Yep, absolutely. But speaking of the start of week 2, it's the first Thursday night football. Well, the first Amazon Thursday night football. Sorry. Um, and that is the Buffalo Bills at the Miami Dolphins, 8:15 on Amazon, unless you live in the local areas.
Yeah.
Gus. So
Um,
betting
the
odds?
Bills are not the favorite.
Huh, really?
Dolphins are a 2.5 point favorite.
Uh I don't necessarily agree with that, but also well, it's in Miami, but it's a night game, so I don't the advantage of the heat isn't really an advantage here, I would think, because they're playing at night. So I don't know where they're getting that one from. Um, I think the Buffalo Bills are going to win the game. Josh Allen, they had a slow start in the first quarter there, but they started to heat it up.
You can't
Um,
say Josh Allen. Wasn't
well,
Josh Allen.
well, yeah, it was Josh Allen, but I'm just saying, like, they heated up
It
towards.
wasn't Josh.
No, I'm not saying Josh Allen is the reason why they were losing in the beginning.
He didn't have a slow start either, though.
Well, yeah, but they weren't. Okay, you get what I'm. The score.
Their defense didn't play well. The refs didn't do well in the favor of it, and in turn, they ended up down. That's the only way they can be said.
All right.
If the refs don't give them the bullshit, um, call for unsportsmanlike conduct, they don't score the first touchdown. That game is nowhere near as close as it is. Um, I mean, Josh holds on to that ball. We're talking it's an even bigger blowout. So I liked seeing that the defense actually made adjustments at the half. That's something we didn't see in the past with this team. Um, I don't think Miami's as good as people think they are, given that they almost lost to Jacksonville. And they might be missing not one, but two starting running backs. I'm
Yeah.
saying Buffalo
Well, yeah.
wins
One of the
27 to
running backs.
21.
One of the running backs are already out, though he was the backup.
Yes, Mostert's out and A-Chain's potentially out.
Yeah. So, and it's and again, like I said, it's a night game, so the sun won't be an advantage, even though they'll probably wear their white jerseys. Um, so I don't think the heat's going to be an advantage for the Dolphins since it's a night game. So,
Well, it was never the heat; it was the sun. They
well,
would
yeah, I know,
the
but I'm
visitor
saying like the sun,
sideline.
the sun, the heat, like that's like an advantage to them because they always wear the white jerseys in those cases.
Well, it's not even the white jersey. The visitor sideline is in the sun.
Well, yeah, I know, but the white, it doesn't have as much heat from the
Yes,
sun
but the
as
visitor
it comes in.
sideline is in the sunny side of the stadium, Frank. It has no,
Yeah,
it's nothing even beyond the white jersey. The visitor sideline is on the sunny side of the stadium.
yeah. There's that too. But again, yeah, it's always been the Don Shula method that they've always done that. But again, I still don't think that's gonna be a factor because again, it's a night game. I think Buffalo Bills win. I think it's going to be 28-14. I think Buffalo gets it done pretty easily. I'd expect another great day from Josh Allen, who had, I believe, 2 rushing touchdowns, and he had multiple touchdown passes. So I expect him to do that really similar again, and I think they win the game pretty easily.
Yeah, I got them 27 to 21. Think it's gonna be a little closer, but I think they'll pull it off. They go to 2-0.
2-0. Yeah, I think Buffalo will go 2-0. All right. Next, we have the San Francisco 49ers at the Minnesota Vikings. What's the thing here?
49ers are a 6-point favorite.
Yeah, 49ers, they kind of easily got it done despite not having McCaffrey, which kind of surprised me. But I think the 49ers will easily beat the Vikings. I don't think the Vikings, like I said, I don't think the Vikings are that good of a team. And I expect the Niners to win here. I'm gonna say it's 30 to 17.
I think that's actually way off. Just because I think it's gonna be way more.
Oh, you think
I
it's more?
I, I went with the Vikings last week, because I had no faith in the Giants. I don't think the Vikings are that good of a team. I just thought the Giants were that bad of a team. That being said, I think the Jets are better than the Vikings. That's me saying something good about a divisional opponent here. Um, and the Niners face them with no talent. You had Ayuk coming off of coming in on snap count. You had no CMC. Granted, I mean, yes, you can say it plays into the fact that they game plan for CMC all week, but I don't care. They blew him out. I'm gonna say it's 45. Let's say it's 45 to 13.
Oh wow, you're really going out there. All right. The Seattle Seahawks against New England Patriots.
Um,
At the Patriots. So,
the Seahawks are a 3.5-point favorite.
all right. I think that's base. Patriots, you don't they surprisingly beat the Bengals, but I don't think I think that was just more of a tease than anything. Um, I don't think Seattle's that great of a team, but I do think they're far better ahead than the Patriots. Um, I think the Seahawks win. I'm gonna say maybe like 20 to 10. I think it's just a slow game, but Seattle just wins basically.
Listen, you hark back to what I said last week. I said that if it would have been Drake May at quarterback, I would have felt a lot more comfortable calling the upset with New England, and they did pull it. I'm calling the upset here. I'm saying New England pulls it off again. They're at home. I'm gonna say they pull it off 17 to 10. I think it's a very boring game, but I think the Pats get it done.
All right. Um, Next we have the New York Giants at the Washington Commanders.
The Commanders are a 1.5-point favorite.
All right. I think the Commanders win. Um, Giants got a lot of figuring out to do. I think the Giants or I'm sorry, I think the Commanders will win 23 to 13.
I mean, this is as close to a coin flip as you can get on the week because, yeah, the Giants look really bad, but I feel like if there's a game where they're going to right their wrongs, it could be this one. However, I had a lot more faith in the Commanders last week than they gave out. Um, Jaden Daniel looked really good. I do think that Jaden Daniel's going to be a good quarterback. He was a very good fantasy prospect last week. I'm going to go with the Giant or with the Commanders in the long or in the end here. It's an ugly game. I'm going to say 24-14 Commanders.
All right. Next, we have the LA Chargers against the Carolina Panthers at the Carolina Panthers.
The Chargers are a 6-point favorite.
Yep, and the Chargers looked solid last week. The Panthers looked exactly the way I thought they would. They looked like complete shit like they did last year. The Panthers are a horrible team. They're going to be a terrible team this year again. And of course, they lost their quarterback. Not that much. I don't think that would. I don't know if that would help regardless, but nonetheless, the Panthers got a lot of problems, and it starts up with ownership management, of course. But the team right now just looks horrible. Harbaugh's got that team ready. They got him ready last week, and like I thought, the Chargers were going to win. Chargers are playing a much weaker team this time around. I think they blow them out. I think just like with the Saints did, they didn't even try. The freaking I think the Chargers win very easily. I think it's 41-7. I have no faith in the Carolina Panthers.
So here's the thing. I have no faith in the Panthers either, but I don't have much more faith in the Chargers. Um, you got to factor in the fact that they're traveling West Coast to East Coast. A little bit of a play here. I'm not taking the Panthers because that's lucrative, but I don't think it's a blowout. I'm going to say it's 17-14 LA. I think it's going to be one of the last games that they win for a while. I really don't think the Chargers are that good. Um, but I'm going to say they pull this one off because I think Carolina is one of the worst teams we've seen possibly since the 0-16 Lions.
What about the Browns? They were 0-16 too.
I mean, we all know that we think that the Browns tanked basically.
Not for a winless season.
Mm.
Not for a winless.
I still think the Browns had more talent on that team than Detroit had when Detroit went over.
Well, I mean, the Lions did have Calvin Johnson, though, to be fair, when they were 0-16. So I mean, they had something.
They also had Matt Stafford, did they not?
No, no, no. He was drafted. He was
Because they
drafted
went 0-16. Okay.
when they were 0-16. So he wasn't there yet. But Calvin was there.
So
So
yeah, that was Calvin's rookie year.
yeah, I mean, still a good player. And then they traded Roy Williams halfway through the season, which ended up not being so good for the Cowboys. But yeah, that was that team. But all I could say with that Brown teams is the first team was 1-15, and then the next team was worse with 0-16. So that's just, I don't know. Y'all can have the debate on which one's the worst team ever, but you know, we'll just move on from that. That being said, New Orleans Saints at the Dallas Cowboys.
Cowboys are a 6-point favorite.
All righty. The Cowboys obviously looked good last week, but the Cleveland Browns laid an egg, so I don't know if that's much of an indication of how good the Cowboys are or just how bad the Browns are right now. But the Saints look good, but again, they were playing a horrible Panthers team. So
And it's still Derek Carr.
I mean, I think Carr's an okay quarterback. But again, I don't know. We still don't know. This is gonna be an interesting game. I think it will be close. I am going to give it to the Cowboys, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Saints somehow upset them. I think this one's going to be the one that's 17-14. I think it's going to be a close game.
I'm going to take Dallas also. I'm going to say 20-10 Cowboys.
Okay. All right. Next, my Green Bay Packers are playing, or we are playing the Colts in Green Bay.
The Colts are a 3-point favorite.
Yeah. So with this game, obviously, disaster struck last week for my Packers. When Jordan Love injured his MCL. I did like what we were doing for most of the game. I just think once again, it came down to Jordan Love was not clutch when we needed to be clutch at the end there. But of course, obviously, the last two plays of the game, he got injured. But there were a lot of opportunities. I think we could have won that game early on, the 2-point conversion. Obviously, we had a missed field goal on the 40-yard attempt. I didn't like that play call on the 2-point conversion. But there were a lot of opportunities we could have won that. We won the turnover battle. I think we really should have won that game. It was a game we really let go because I think we really had a chance to legitimately win that game. With this one, obviously we don't have Jordan Love. Got a guy we just got a couple weeks ago, actually. So I don't know what to expect in terms of what we're gonna do quarterback wise, quarterback play. I'm worried about the running game because we didn't really have that much running success. I mean, we had a little bit towards the second half, but it wasn't really from Josh.
You were never going to last week.
Yeah, but I
No,
don't know.
you weren't going to. Philadelphia was one of the best run teams in the league, and they didn't lose linebackers.
Yeah. And again, the defense looked pretty good. Again, we had a few turnovers on them. Um, so we looked good. It kept us really, I mean, it gave us an edge early on in the game. But again, we didn't capitalize on touchdowns. We got field goals on those possessions. So, but again, this is a gray area for me because I don't know what we are going to do. I'm still going to pick the Packers to win, obviously, just um, because the Colts are kind of like they are kind of a shaky team. So I think there's possibilities with especially with our defense. That if we can carry the load on our defense. So I'm gonna say we're gonna win. I'm gonna say 17-7.
Not even close. No,
Of course you're
no,
not. Of course you're not gonna pick us.
no. I what?
Of course you're not gonna pick us.
It's got nothing to do with that. I picked you last week. I took that L with you. And if Jordan Love's in that game, I'm possibly taking it again. But like the Colts just came off almost knocking off Houston. AR-15 had a hell of a game. They have Jonathan Taylor. I dare to say they almost have as much offensive talent, if not more than you guys do, and they have a starting quarterback. I'm telling you right now, 24-10 Colts.
We're gonna win this game with our defense. If we win the turnover battle, I think we can win this game.
Oh, you'll do something with a D, all right.
Um, all right. So next we have the Cleveland Browns against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And in terms of this game, we're not going to comment on allegations of said quarterback. So we're just going to take that as this. But nonetheless, what are the favorites on
The
this
Jags
game?
are a 3-point favorite.
All right. So, in terms of the game last week on the Cleveland Browns, Deshaun Watson looked bad. He looked bad in that game. He looked very uncomfortable. Obviously there's been rumblings which aren't going to do anything because of his on-field play hasn't been that particularly good. Um but I don't think the Jacksonville Jaguars are that good of a team, so there is promise for the Browns to win, especially with their defense. Um, it's just going to come down to what they are going to do. Like if Deshaun can, rebound somewhat in this game or play somewhat okay, where it would be enough to win. In the end, Jacksonville, though, they got a lot of problems too. They almost beat the Dolphins. So I am kind of curious of how this game's going to go. I think it will be a close game again. I think it's going to be 17-14 Jaguars. It will be probably comes down to a field goal, and I think the Jaguars win.
I'm a Jaguars fan, but I think that one team grossly overplayed their potential and one team grossly underplayed their potential last week. Despite what you want to say about, you know, Cleveland's quarterback and how poor he played, that defense we know was a killer last year. I'm going to say Cleveland comes back. I'm going to say it's a close game. We got to find Trevor Lawrence needs to find the clutch gene that he had in college because he doesn't have it in the pros. I'm going to say it's 23-17 Cleveland.
Okay. All right. And now next we have the New York Jets taking on the Tennessee Titans.
The Jets are a 3.5-point favorite.
And they should be. I think Aaron Rodgers, A-Rod, is going to rebound. I mean, it was a tough game against the Niners, but he did make it out of there, unlike last year. And while he did look uncomfortable in certain situations, it was against the 49ers. He was still playing okay overall. But again, he was playing against a tough 49ers team. We have to remember that. He was taking hits perfectly fine. So I do think, he's back. It's just a matter of getting back at this point. I think the Jets and Aaron Rodgers make a statement. I think it's going to be 28-13. I think they easily beat the Titans here.
I don't even know if you can call it a statement if we're being fair. Yes, the Jets underperformed grossly in week one, but the Titans overperformed and then still managed to lose that game against a Bears defense that played well above their means. And if they threw if they gave two defensive touchdowns to the Bears, I'm afraid to see what will happen if the Jets are coming to town to play them. I'm gonna say it's 35-10 Jets, just because like the Titans are a poverty franchise right now. Um, the Jets at least have a better line. I don't think I thought I'd ever say that, but the Jets have a better line than the Bears. Um, yeah, yeah, Jets are gonna embarrass them.
All right. So next we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers at the Detroit Lions.
Detroit's a 7.5 point favorite.
All right. I think this is a tough one to call. Um, Lions look good at the end, but Bucks look good too. I'm gonna, I think this is gonna be an upset. I think the Buccaneers win. Baker Mayfield looks good. I think it's gonna be 26-23. I think the Buccaneers get it done.
Detroit 38, Buccaneers 20. I think Detroit absolutely just humbles them back. Here's the thing: Detroit's defense didn't look great last week, and that's with a lot of missing parts for the Rams. But they also had a lot of rookie pieces that they're trying to get accustomed. Um, I still think Detroit's going to be a top team in this league. I'm going Detroit.
All right. Next, we have the Las Vegas Raiders at the Baltimore Ravens.
The Ravens are a 9 point favorite.
Yeah, I think the Ravens rebound here. They lost to obviously a good Chief team, and that was always going to be a tough to do. But I thought they would still get it done. It was still a close game in the end. I think here the Raiders are not that good of a team, and I think it was evident last week when they lost to the Chargers. And I think the Ravens rebound easily in this game. I think this is going to be 38-20.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. You know I'm not a Ravens fan,
Yeah.
but it's tough to argue anything last week when the Chiefs' right tackle is getting away with the same move that the Ravens' left tackle's being flagged 7 times in the game for. The refs were just horrible in that game. The Ravens should be 1-0. The Chiefs should be 0-1. There's no other way to put this. Even if you're not talking about the toe tap at the end of the game that was ridiculously close. That being said, I think the Ravens have a chance to possibly put up the most points of the week. I'm going to give them 48. So the Ravens hang 48. I'm just going to give the Raiders some due. So the Raiders hang 17.
All right.
But 48-17.
Okay. Now we have the first 405 game. We have the Rams at the Cardinals.
It's the only 405 game.
Yeah, the only one.
The Cardinals are a 1 point favorite.
Yeah. I don't understand why they do 405s. Why don't they just start them at 425 at this point? Like, I just think it's always kind of weird that they do that. But
I think it's because they want something to fill the gap when games are done.
yeah, I guess it's always just been weird. They always do that. But what was it was Cardinals? What?
Cardinals are a 1 point favorite.
Yeah, so it's close. Cardinals obviously did look good against the Bills, obviously, but the Rams also did look good. Went to overtime. So it could go either way. I think. I'm just gonna say I think the Cardinals have the better momentum going into this game. So I'm gonna just say it's 26-20. I'm gonna give it to the Cardinals.
Oh, you're gonna say the Rams lose by the same exact score 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah.
I'm gonna meet you there though. I'm gonna say the Cardinals do pull it off. They're hungry. I know that the Rams just lost in overtime, but like the Rams at least have sniffed around and know they're a team that should be there, and they lost to a good team. The Cardinals have to be flying high. Win or lose last week, they had no business playing that close to Buffalo. If I'm that Cardinals defense, if I'm that Cardinals offensive line, I racked up a huge bill at the bar afterwards because I'm happy with how that game went, win or lose. I'm saying Cardinals win this one 21-13.
Okay. So next we have 425. We have the Cincinnati Bengals against the Kansas City Chiefs at the Kansas City Chiefs.
Chiefs are only a 5-point favorite.
Yeah, I think it will be a close game. Uh, Burrow's in this, right?
Who?
The quarterback. He's playing, right?
He's supposed to, yeah. There's no designated injury. They're making something out of nothing because he picked up a Gatorade bottle weird.
Okay. Um, you know what? They giving the Chiefs 5.
Yeah.
Uh I'm gonna say the Bengals upset them here. It was close against the Ravens. They lost to the Patriots last week, but I again, Bengals didn't have everyone out there. Um, I'm gonna say the Bengals get it done. I'm gonna say it's 27-20. I think it's gonna be the opposite flip way as it was when they played the Ravens last week.
I would love to see that happen, but I'm a realist. 31-14 Kansas City.
Okay.
I just do not trust that Bengals defense to hold off the Chiefs. And you can only count on Jamar Chase so much.
All right. Next, we have the last 425 game. We have the Pittsburgh Steelers versus the Denver Broncos at the Denver Broncos. And the Steelers, of course, are 1-0.
And they're the 2.5-point favorite here.
Yep. So, like I said, despite the fact that for whatever reason they didn't have their starting quarterback out because he had a calf injury, so they actually had their backup, even though they announced the other person to be the starter. But then they have Justin Fields out, who wasn't supposed to be the starter, but was the starter because the other guy had a calf injury,
And
and he
Justin
still
Fields is
suited up for some
is
reason.
being worked as the starter this week.
Yeah, and also Russell Wilson was suited up for some reason, even though he was inactive. I don't understand it. But nonetheless, the Steelers got it done against the Falcons. And I expect them to get it done against the believe Denver Broncos. And I think the Pittsburgh Steelers easily win. I think it's going to be Denver aren't as good defensive wise as the Falcons are. And I think the Steelers easily beat them. I think it's going to be like 30-17.
I think I would say Denver's as good, if not slightly better than Atlanta on defense. Um, I'm taking Denver to upset.
Okay.
I'm going to take Denver to upset. I'm going to say it's going to be 24-20 Broncos.
24
We're
what?
going to believe
24 what?
24-20.
24-20. Oh my God. Man, yeah, on the Steelers here, man. Like Tomlin, man, he's gonna get it up. Um anyways, Sunday Night Football, 8:20. We have the Chicago Bears at the Houston Texans.
Texans are a 6-point favorite.
Yeah, I think the Houston Texans easily wins this game. The Bears looked horrendous despite winning. It's like I thought. I mean, the Titans were just a terrible team that they played. I think the Texans easily get it done. CJ Stroud's is gonna eat them up. I think it will be 31 to 14. Texans win.
Yeah, this is. I have no remorse here. The Bears did not look like the team I thought they would be.
Yeah.
Caleb
They
Williams
won
needs to
because the
spend.
Titans were just bad. The
But
Titans.
Caleb Williams needs to spend less time painting his nails and more time worrying about the playbook. I'm going with the Texans 38
You're
38
giving
to 10.
you're giving them even more than I am.
Yeah, 38 to 10.
All right. Next, 8:15 Monday Night Football. We have the Atlanta Falcons at the Philadelphia Eagles.
The Eagles are a 6.5 point favorite.
So, are you going with your 11 in 5 Falcons this time?
I am.
Oh, so you think that okay.
I
Oh boy.
I'm taking my Falcons to pull it back together. I actually just put in a bet with the Falcons money line. Um, hello, come
Yeah.
on.
I
It's
mean,
not gonna, of course, it's not gonna pull it up, but I just played Atlanta money line to win, um, as well as my other underdog bets there. I'm gonna say Kirk O'Banks gets off with a jump. I don't trust Philly, and
Philly were vulnerable. They were fun to your credit. They were vulnerable.
I think they're very vulnerable. I
We
think they
really
won
should
a
have beaten
sloppy
them.
game.
We
I
should
think they
have
won a
beat.
sloppy game last week. Um, I don't think they're that good, and I think Atlanta needs to make adjustments. Um, the benefit they have is I think Bijan's a better dual threat than Josh Jacobs is in terms of pass catching and rushing. And I think it's going to be Atlanta. I'm not going to say it's going to be a blowout, but I'm going to say like 24 to 17.
Yeah, I am gonna also ride with your Falcons today, because I do believe the Eagles aren't as good as people think they are. Like I said, I think we should have beaten them last week. We had opportunities to win the game. We won the turnover battle. We should have won the game with all the miscues the Eagles made. I think the the play call management that we had on key plays could have turned that game easily, especially because it was a 2 point game. Um, but we're only going to remember because Jordan Love got he got the injury. But again, if you look at the deep of that game, I mean, there were opportunities early on that we could have had that pretty easily. I think the Falcons do win. I think it's especially if the Falcons get turnovers and they win the turnover battle. Like I said, 9 times out of 10, when you win the turnover battle, you're going to win the game. Like if you lose in the turnover battle, something really bad happened. But the Falcons win the turnover battle. I think they win the game easily. I'm gonna say it's I'm gonna give it a 28 to 17. I'm gonna say it's a 28-17 Falcons.
You're giving them more points than I did.
Yeah, I think I think the turnover, especially that new center. Another thing I should point out too, the center, that he's got a new center in there, and there was multiple times in that game, including one of them which led to a turnover, by the way, which got us a field goal, which we should have got a touchdown. We didn't capitalize on it, but there were other ones we didn't get turnovers on those ones, and that's going to be a key too, because if that happens again, that's going to be issues if they get turnovers that way. So I think Falcons get it done, especially if they get turnovers. Kirk Cousins comes back to form. I don't see how the Eagles win that way. So that's where I stand on it. I'm giving it 28-17 Falcons. But
All righty.
nonetheless, that is all the beast predictions we have for this week. Make sure to comment, rate. Also, as I should note, because I didn't mention it last week, but for anybody who is subscribed to my channel, the Green Bay Packers recap show is back. Beast recap show, where I talk about the Packers game. Try to get it out as soon as the game is over. If I don't get it out as soon as the game is over, I'll try the best to get it out and give you my thoughts on the game, the time of possession, all the turnovers.
Well, it's a good thing I don't do that about the Bills because mine would not be coherent or sober.
Well, yeah. So I just basically go over everything, the yardage, the touchdowns, all the stats, and my overall thoughts on the games. I will be doing that all year again, like I did last year. So that's kind of spinoffs to this. And also very soon, we will be on this video. If you're not seeing it now, you will see it probably soon. It will be on Spotify as well
Well, the
soon.
video will not be. The
Video will
audio
not be.
will
The
be.
audio will be on Spotify for anybody who wants to check it out on Spotify. Hopefully, we'll have that soon up for you guys to watch this episode on Spotify, and we'll also have the previous episode as well. But hopefully, we'll have the live feed for the rest of the season.
It should be up within the next week. This and week one will both be backlogged and should be up within the next week or so on Spotify. Yes.
Yes. So we'll be getting that as soon as we can. And then also, Kyle, your thing. Your
shout out to Nikki Two Scoops. Hit him up. Great ice cream death by peanut butter, my personal favorite. Shout out to the beauty parlor. She cut my hair today, made me look really tolerable at best. Shout out to Kyle at Chicken Dippin'. Hit him up. He has the best form of eating chicken wings with blue cheese and hopefully not ranch because we're from Buffalo. You both. That's all I got.
Oh yeah, you just broke up a little bit, but yeah, here in Buffalo, people prefer the blue cheese over the ranch. Personally, I like both of them, but I don't use them on chicken wings. I just use them on celery. So, I just eat chicken wings without it. But
listen, I like ranch on pizza, on carrots, not on my wings.
Yeah, I see. I like them both. But I use them for like things that are not involving chicken wings. So that's the difference. I don't dip them with chicken wings. I just eat chicken wings. I just eat chicken wings as is. You know, that's how I do.
I eat chicken wings too.
Yeah. Well, we know you eat a lot of chicken wings. You were the third place spicy champion right over here with your medal that you're showing out last week. Still got it. Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. It's blurred background doesn't work well with that. But yeah, third place flying goose.
Yeah. One of these days, I want to do a challenge where I just like eat a bunch of wings like in 20 minutes or something like that. I got to do that one of these days.
Frank, I'm confident to tell you I would beat you now.
Well, no, I'm not saying you would. I'm just saying like a challenge for myself, an individual challenge.
I'm just saying I'm confident. Remember a couple of years ago, you beat me because I gave wings away, and you had 27 wings in like 10 minutes.
25 or 26 wings I ate
in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I did 25 in 5.5.
Okay. But I'm not practicing either, too. So.
I didn't practice either. I went into that cold as shit.
All right.
I meant to practice. If I would have practiced, I might have won.
So 10 minutes, 25 wing. Let's do it. I want to do that wing challenge. One of these days, I can do a wing challenge. But anyway, guys, that is the episode. Comment, rate. Make sure to go on the website if you haven't to watch this episode, or whenever it's on Spotify, watch it, or here on the YouTube channel. Subscribe, comment, rate, all the good stuff. Click all that stuff. Make sure to check out the other shows, and make sure to check out Kyle's Spread Those Wings. He does a lot of good wing stuff as well. Be on the lookout for the Packers recap episode, Beast recap episode. That is the episode. I keep saying it again. I am the SS Ultimate Goku. He's the reigning 48. We're out of here. Peace.